Hey guys, it's your girl, Amanda Miller with 105.7 The Days. And it is Tuesday. So, as you guys know, we are Facebook on Tuesdays and IG on Sundays at 7 o'clock. Make sure that you guys have downloaded the 105.7 The Phase app. Make sure you guys are following Talk That Queens on IG and here, Amanda Miller Talks too on Facebook each and every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Also, make sure you are following the YouTube page on Amanda Miller Talks, of course, on YouTube. So, today, guys, I want you guys to be definitely having a great discussion. So I'm looking forward to us having a great discussion today. I hope you guys were able to look on the page. Hold on, guys. Got to bring on my co-host. Hold on. One second. Okay, so hopefully you guys were able to look at the videos that we have on our page. Um, hey girl, happy Tuesday.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Good. Because I know last time on Tuesdays they couldn't hear me, so I went ahead and added these earplugs, so just to be sure that um,
Every time
people
we
are
go,
able to hear me.
every time we
So
go on,
right,
I put my earbuds on
right,
just in
right,
case.
right. And so I was just, of course, going through the normal spiel. Hey Taiwan, just letting people know to download the app, just letting them know about the Facebook on Tuesdays, IG on Sundays, both at 7 p.m. Make sure you're following the YouTube page to go back and listen to everything that you may have missed. And of course, you can always follow the podcast on what?
You can always go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and don't forget, just download the 105.7 The Phase app, and you'll always know what's going on. Because we're on
That's
24/7,
right.
365, 366 this 2024. So.
Right. Of course, of course, of course. Thank you for joining, Athena. Guys, as you guys come on, make sure you tag someone and just share. So tag and share right quick. Tag and share one somebody. Better yet, more than one somebody, but at least one somebody. Tag and
Because we
share.
need somebody to lean on, guys.
Yeah, tag and share definitely. So I am going, hey Athena, I'm gonna do the same. So give
As
me a
well, as well.
second. Yeah, so we are going to do the same. We're gonna tag and share some people. So y'all be patient because we definitely want to
Good evening, Athena. I
a
didn't know if
great.
my comments was coming up at first. I was concerned. Ow. Ow.
Yeah,
Ow.
definitely want to have a great discussion today. So guys, we will allow people to come in the room so that we can really talk about this thing. I don't know if you had the opportunity to listen to the videos. I kind of dropped it in the girls' chat so you guys can get a heads up to listen to them, just so you have your mind wrapped around what we got going on today. Hey, Zoe. Zoe, you don't have to send an invite unless I might can send it to you. Hold tight. Okay. And so, Zarita, I sent you an invite as well so that you can join. But, guys, we want to kind of make sure we get people, hey, girl, to show up before we dive into this thing. Zarita, were you able to send an invite? Because I kind of sent it your way. B, can you still hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Guys, make sure you tag and share, tag and share, tag and share. Zarita, did the invite come over on your end? I hope she did.
Oh,
Thank you, Tanisha, for watching.
so yeah, she sent it.
Yeah, nothing came over on my side for you. I know we had this kind of issue the last time.
Yes, it is.
See if you can send it again because it's nothing that's coming over on my end. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Definitely, please allow. We want to have a great discussion today. So, please allow people to come into the room um, in order for us to get this engaging conversation rolling. I'm hoping you guys had an opportunity to listen to some of the videos that we have out there on the page because it's going to be very controversial, I'm sure, if people engage I am and voice their opinions. And I'm hoping that guys will join into this discussion. Definitely go ahead, please tag and share. Tag and share. Zarita, I don't know what's going on, madam. I am trying because nothing is coming over. You're probably gonna have to just send it constantly, and then it'll probably, better yet, let me go back. I know the last time I had to kind of scroll back on. I remember when unlocked, I had to scroll back and see his. Okay, so what we'll do is go ahead and pretty much just get started, and then hopefully that will pop up. I'm not sure why at some point sometimes these invites don't go through because it's not popping up on my end. And I know last week we had to try it several times
Yeah.
before it came up. So just continue to send it. See, just like
I'm about to say, because last
what
week mine didn't even come up at all.
yeah, and then when Professor Vanessa just logged in, his came up. It says bring them on video. So that's weird to me. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
he just popped up and his says bring them on video. So I'm not sure what's going on. But let's continue to dialogue on this thing as Zarita continue to send it, and I'm sure it'll populate at some point and I'll just bring you on. But hey guys, let's talk about it. Go ahead and tag and share one somebody, two somebody, any and everybody that you know. Please tag and
Tell a
share
friend to
this.
tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend because guys, we want you guys to really engage with us on today, right? So we had a couple of videos circulating from perspective of a female, perspective of a male, and then we had one post that said, if a man only contributed $600 in food stamps, would that be okay with you as a woman? Would that be okay? That's his contribution to the household. He did, and he took care of the kids. Would that be okay for you? Second video kind of talked a little bit about um dating. She was stating that right now people are dating Look, I'm already looking at the comments laughing.
Right,
People,
right.
right. So people are dating for what people can do for them. But if people brought their own to the table, then people are able to date who they want to date because you're not looking for nothing from anyone. You're just, bringing your contribution, they're bringing theirs, and I guess everybody meet in the middle. The third video, the guy is literally, we have 4 videos actually. The fourth video, the guy looks like he is possibly a stay-at-home dad. Like he's saying he's cleaning up. He's picking up the toys. He's in the trash. He's cleaning the kitchen. He's doing all of these things. And then the caption says, I married my wife when she was in her soft girl era, something to that effect. And then the other
met my wife when she started her soft girl era.
When she started her soft girl era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this other one was saying about women. If a man is not providing, getting out, providing, sweating, sacrificing for the woman, he's not considered a man. That women don't love, they respect. Now that's kind of the part that caught me. That what women don't love, they respect. So guys, let's talk about these things. So
now,
first of all,
pause. I want to point out that last video was from a man's perspective.
Yes.
Because a lot of times men be like, well, women be getting it wrong. No. That last video was from a man's perspective. A man said that.
Right.
Just want to throw that out there. Just
so
put
great.
that caveat in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Zarita, definitely try to bring it over again, because even in UK, hers is saying she's joining and bring them on video. So I'm not sure why yours not coming across like that. So about the food stamps. All right, let's start with that one first, right? So I heard some hell no's. I heard some he's staying where, who comes up with this stuff. Zarita, I'm gonna try to look for you again. So guys, tell me what you think besides the hell no and the who's coming up with this stuff and he's staying where. He's staying with her. Professor Vanessa, they live together. So they live together. His contribution is the $600 worth of food stamps. Why is that not okay? She said hell no. Why is that?
And him being a I do want to add that it's not just the $600 food stamps. He is at home taking care of the kids, doing the house, taking care of the home, while honestly, it's just the roles kind of reversed. And he added food, and he kind of added food stamps to the situation. Like
that's what I say.
Because
it is a
because some stay-at-home wives out here don't be even adding food stamps to the situation.
That's real. That's real, and that was my take. Is that what I looked at that post? I said the same thing about the role reversal, and then I thought about the fact that the man stated that women don't respect men unless they are providing. And so let's talk about that piece of it, because when you say providing, are we saying always money? Because he's providing the food stamps, $600. He's providing, taking care of the household. If you have the kids, depending on their ages, you're saving on daycare. He's like he should be, if he's doing all of these things as far as the cooking, the cleaning, he's providing by lighting the load off of her. We want to hear from you guys. And it's a role reversal. So what do you guys think about that? I hear a thing that says that's a contribution, and it is.
That is. And it is. Child care ain't cheap because I pay it. And it ain't right. And I got cats. And it's still expensive out here.
She says facts. And I like what the caveat that B added into there when she said a lot of stay-at-home moms are not even adding that piece of it, as far as the food stamps. So she's just the stay-at-home mom. And so she's there. Of course, she's taking care of the kids, and she's cleaning and taking care of the house as quote unquote society expects the woman to do.
Mhm.
But what do you guys think about that? Depending on, Zoe said, depending on the household. And that's why you need to try to be on this camera, because I need to understand when you say depending on the household. Let's talk about it.
Honestly, I
What
get what
does that
she's
mean?
saying with the household comment, because if that's okay, and it kind of goes into what with what Professor let me make sure I say this man's name right, Professor Vanessa. It kind of goes into what he says. If it's okay for their relationship in their home, like who are we to judge? Because if that's what works in your relationship, that's what works in your relationship. Ain't none of us there in the quiet times where it's just the two of y'all going through y'all stuff. So I, I, I sorry, I gotta agree. It's your, it depends on your relationship, it depends on your house. That's your.
So, so Athena says, I think that's agreed upon and it works for them. Okay, so we're pretty much some people are pretty much saying some of the same things. Because here's my thing, guys. Okay, so we do okay, because if it doesn't work for my household, I don't have small kids, I need help. And that's real. I mean, because if you
I need real help. Hold on.
right,
Hold on.
I need real help. Okay, so let's just say, because I put it out there, say, okay, so if you have small kids, he's definitely there. He's saving on daycare. Daycare, we all know if you got small
It
kids, that
ain't
junk is through
cheap.
the roof.
It
Right, it's
ain't
not cheap.
cheap.
That's right. Right, that's right. And then, he's cooking, he's cleaning, he's taking care of all these things that you would normally do as a woman. What makes it not a man? As the guy stated on the other video, he said, if a man isn't out sacrificing, working, providing, and he said, he said breaking sweat.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of the part where he lost me, the breaking sweat, because again, I don't think that a man has to get out and actually be um
Toiling in the
a construction
soil.
worker, right? Somebody
Toiling in
that
the
breaks,
soil to be a provider.
right,
Yeah.
to be a provider. That's kind of where I kind of agree with them in some aspects of that video, but not necessarily the breaking sweat, because that means to me you're saying a man that sit behind a desk isn't necessarily a provider man if he's not breaking sweat. So I don't know.
I didn't see it like that. I think he meant like working hard. That's how I took it, as him
Okay,
just being like working hard. Because when you busting the sweat, you working hard out here. You put in work. So I took it as him just meaning working hard. Personally,
gotcha.
that's just me
And the only reason why I looked at it that way, because I've heard women say they're attracted to men that get their hands
though.
dirty, men's
Fair,
that you
fair,
kind of, that's the
fair.
only reason why I kind of took it that way. But you're right, it could be looked at in both aspects. Guys,
We
make
got
sure
some
you're tagging,
comments coming in.
right? Make sure you're tagging and sharing. Tanisha says, I look to a man as provider and not the opposite. He will eventually feel like less a man because the woman will be calling all the shots. Not everyone has their way of what works. My husband does this and still works, which is great. But here's what I told Zarita when we talked about this topic. So that's amazing that he does that, because I told her, and guys, I promise you, this happens more than we like to think, and more households than not, that a woman works, she
Especially,
still come home, she cooks, she cleans, she takes care of them kids. As soon as they get to the door, it's mommy, 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 mommy. And the man may have gotten there before her, and they're still reaching out to mama. So she didn't even had a chance to relax, because everything still falls on her. And most times, and in most families, I do believe that that happens a lot. Right?
yeah,
A
because it just
lot.
happened. It just happened in my past relationship. It just happened
And I know
in
it
mine,
happened
and I can
in
tell you
mine.
from experience, like that is exactly how it went. And then when, because we would do this thing when we were together, and it went on until he stopped seeing the kids, that on Monday and Tuesday he would be responsible for them. So he's picking them up from school, he's doing dinner, he's making sure that they're taken care of at night. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that would be on me because he's working overnight. So Monday and Tuesdays, I'm coming home. If I decide to have a girls' night, I'm coming home a little later, or if I'm coming home straight from work, there is no, oh, mommy gets a chance to chill. No. Like you said, soon as foot hit that door, and Bella and my daughter was one. She can hear you, so she hears you coming up the door. She'll hear the screen door slam, and she'll be like, "Mommy's home, Daddy's home." Like she'll be there, and they'll be there, like at the door, like, "Hey, mama," before I got a chance to really open the door for real.
So my thing
So
is,
zero
that's right. So I look in that as you got a man in the house, but you don't have a man in the house. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see this a lot, and I've seen this characterized as a married single mother.
That's absolutely.
When you are
absolutely.
literally running a household on your own, and he's with a partner, like
right, he's
like
there,
you just here, like you just a body, you a warm body, so I can meet quota. Like that's not helping me none.
That's right, but guess what? He got a job.
And he paid the
be like,
bills.
He paid the bills. He paid the bills, but all of that is still on you. So
and that's why I feel like this term provider gets used to the point where people think like, oh, it's just monetary.
Yes.
No. Yes. Being a provider is not just monetary. Right. That's not what that is. And I feel a way when, because this topic makes me feel a way. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Because I hate this thought process of, oh, for a man to call the shots, he got to be paying for something. If a man is a man, that man gonna run his house regardless. If he's making the most money or if he's not making the most money. If y'all going 50-50 or he going 80-20 or he going 100 and you ain't doing for nothing. Or you doing 100. A man is a man regardless. I understood the statement where the guy was like, women respect and not love. I get that. I understood where his thought process was, because regardless if a woman is making the most or not, if that man has put her in her feminine energy and in her submission, I guarantee you she gonna listen to that man regardless. He ain't gotta pay the bill. He ain't gotta pay all the bills.
He talked about,
you gotta provide. There's other things to provide. Your money ain't gonna be the only thing that's making sure I can get up every day, because if I'm stressed out and depressed because I have all this anxiety at work and at home and ain't got no relief, sir, you paying the bill for me ain't helping me for real. I can go pay my bill.
Because okay, Nikki says, I agree, depending on the household and the relationship, respect, communication, a lot goes into it. Absolutely. I think every household is different, and it is. 1,000%. Right. Go ahead. You can read the next one, Professor Vanessa.
I can't really see it very well. Oh, okay. I have such a light.
Okay. That's all right. Listen, I have a whole take on this, but again, there's no way around that. What couples do in their home is strictly on them. 100. I agree. Guys, make sure you tag and share. But he works. That's right, Zoe. Women will just say that. Oh, I got a working man. If there's a woman,
women don't say that because they don't want to be alone. I'm sorry.
Like works. Oh, he gonna give me right. But if that man, right, he could work all day long. But here's my thing: a working man may not have character. He still may be a man that does not respect you, talk to you any kind of way in the streets. But he works.
He pays.
Don't help with the kids. Don't take the cars to the shop. Man, I used to remember having to take my own car to get my own car fixed, and was dealing and had a man in the house. Who wants to do that?
Let me tell you something. In any relationship I've ever been in since high school to now, I'll be there. Right. I take that car by myself. Ooh, right. No, that's your job, Shawty.
That's your
handle your job. That ain't on me.
Yes, it does. I agree. Even if a man lives in the home, children still come to mom. They do. And guess what? If that man, like she said, I'm going to go back to what B just said. If that man knows he's home, he's cooked, he's cleaned, he's done all the things, and that lady has been working, what he needs to tell them, when your mom gets here, you need to give her a break. Let her rest. I've been here all this time, And if you had questions, if you had homework, if you had these things, come to me because she's worked. I need her to be able to come in, take a shower, relax, and be able to be good for us because she's been out all day. So I think we get so caught up in the stigma of what society has deemed to be a man got to be this, a man got to be that, but he do all these other things that's not fitting to a healthy relationship to this woman. Talk to her in a kind of way, cheating, probably stay out late, but guess what? He worked, he paid the bill, and
I
I
promise you,
heard
Georgia Power ain't gonna kill me that much, my G. I promise you,
what
it's not.
what I heard somebody say is that a woman will stay in a relationship just because a man work and provide and
Mm-hmm.
he is doing everything under the sun.
Yep. He will,
But he worked.
man. But he worked.
Um, Nikki said, yes, it does. I agree. Even if a
You just
man
read
lives
that
in
one.
the home. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now he doesn't come in offering me $600 in stamps. It would have to be a relationship. That's right. That's right. Zarita said that too. So I wish you was able to get on here, ma'am. But I
That has
understand if
what?
it's not coming through. She said he doesn't now. He doesn't come in offering the $600 in stamps. Would have to be a relationship that has been around, which means circumstances put us there. And we talked about that too. So, because a lot of people were saying if that's the only thing they had to contribute. So, my thing was okay, so you're saying me, if something happened with your mate and that was his only contribution, you mean tell me you're going to get rid of him because that's all he got to offer? So now you ready to bail out? Is that what your
Hey,
relationship was based off of beforehand? Just the money that he was contributing?
that's that transactional pleasure contract
Right.
like Umar was talking about in the video, bro. That's what. Not everybody got relationships out here.
Joseph Vanessa says there's a that laugh at Ella, there's a reason why it seems that way. You're right. So Zoe says, what about providing emotional, mental, right? What about providing emotional, mental, and physical security? Because I believe this is me, and women are and men chime in, please. I believe most women, and don't get me wrong, I'm gonna use this as my disclaimer. I am not discounting that there are plenty of women out there that's looking for the bag, that's looking for a man with a chick. I'm not discounting that. But I believe that most women with good character, mature women, working women, are looking for a man that's able to contribute and able to provide those things that Rita just said, the physical, the emotional, mental, physical security and respect enough where she feels so secure in him that she believes that no matter what happens, he has her and he has that home. And as long as he has those things and contributing in some form of financial, it ain't even about how much. It's all about, are you taking care of this home enough where I can feel that you are leading? And like Dee said,
Mm-hmm.
I can be submissive enough to respect you as a leader. What do you guys think?
Ooh,
Y'all tag and share.
please.
Somebody saying that gender roles. Yep, that's what it is. We have tagged gender roles to be so defined so heavily the way that we run our households that we forget to think about everything else that inclusive in making a healthy relationship. Then you say, I agree 100% on that. I get the homework, and after that, now my daughter loves to hug me and won't even say a word to her dad. Right, correction. Right, bug. No, he's got online and applied for food stamps. That is funny. Amen. And man is head. Okay, thank you, Fred, for chiming in here. me read his. A man is the head of the house, period. He sets foundation. The man works. He makes sure everything is taken care of properly. The woman is a strong helpmate. A man has the world on his shoulders in the streets. Her duty is to make sure the king is relaxed and feeling safe as well. If he slips on the bill sometimes, then she steps in and has his back. Together in mind and heart, we have everything. Separate we and nothing. What do y'all think about that? So remember, y'all remember, be what you think. We talked about a man is head of the household, period. He sets the foundation. Hold on. I'm gonna go back. The man works and make sure everything is taken care of properly. As a working woman, I'm looking for a man to help level me up and not necessarily the money, but also enough to know if I decided that if I don't want to work, he can get up and go. But what if he couldn't? Let's talk about that. And I'm going to come back to Fred. Let's just say, what if he couldn't? What if your man was in a position where he couldn't get up? Then what happens? Because I want people to think about so many times things happen in a relationship. Car accidents. Somebody talked about people coming back home from the military, not able to work. What happens when something happens in your home and he's not able to get out and work? What happens? Because I would hate to think that if something happens to me and I couldn't get out and work or be a helpmate, the person that I married or loved would be ready to bail on me because I couldn't get out and work. I guess I'm just trying to figure out why the get out and work is so big and so huge, because there are many ways to make money other than just getting out and going to work, because it looks good. It looks good that a man leave the house and get out and go work. I mean, it looks good. It looks manly. Do you see what I'm saying? It looks manly. That's what it looks like. It looks manly. But is that truly what defines a man? Just because he leave the house and go work? Y'all help me now. It's just me. It's just me.
I feel like I've been real clear on my stance of things, because even a friend of mine and I were talking about this, because we were talking about people wanting this traditional mindset and these traditional roles. And traditionally, the man, he would go out and he would make the money, but once that money was made, that man didn't know what happened in his house. That man didn't know what how much the bills cost, didn't know when the bills were supposed to be paid, didn't know how to pay up some of the credits and charges at local stores to pay for dinners, didn't know what his schedule was, didn't know where the kids were supposed to go, didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, didn't know nothing. Like he wasn't a leader of the home. He didn't lead nothing. He didn't have nothing to lead. He didn't know what the hell he was leading, because the woman went and did everything else. So to have this mindset of, the man is supposed to go out, he's supposed to work, and that's supposed to be it. What?
Right. Oh my God. Let me tell you, most women.
Your wife died tomorrow, and your life completely. But you die tomorrow. Your wife can go get a job but still run the rest of the house, because that's what she's used to doing anyway.
Right.
Like, she's used to taking care of your household. She's used to. She could probably get this life insurance policy, have some time to get a job, and still know how to budget, make sure the house is financially led, make sure that everything is going right with the kids, make sure that she's getting hers together. Now, granted, will she be in mourning? Absolutely. Right. But life, statistics showed even then, hell, sometimes, most of the times now, when a husband loses a wife, an extreme financial thing hits. But when a wife loses a husband, that dip doesn't happen as steeply for the family. And it's because a lot of men nowadays think that sitting in this, I provide monetarily mindset is the only thing that you do as a man. And I hate that for our men out here, because it negates all of the people who took the time to be emotionally intelligent and know how to help really level up a person, not just financially. I feel like it
Right.
just takes that entire, like, that's hard work to learn how to get a woman to be in a submissive role without being this domineering figure. That takes a lot of work and a lot of finesse. But to sit here and discredit that because this brother don't bring home as much, that bugs me. Like, even when me and my ex first started, he was not the breadwinner in the household. He
Child, I
was not. I made
remember me
more
and
than
my
him.
ex.
I made more
Actually,
than
when I
him
met
by
my
a
ex,
good
he
grip.
didn't even work when I met my
like,
ex, but
like,
he wasn't
but if
even
you know
working.
what you're doing, you're able to enhance a person without
Absolutely, absolutely.
doing without. And then sometimes and then saying as a helpmate, it was my job to then bring this person. Okay, this is what this man's saying he wants. This is the man that I want to help lead my home. Okay, this is my job to be a helpmate and take a backseat for right now. And when he needs me to move.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did, because 6 years later, this man went from making 20-something K to 90K a year with no college degree and a felony record. Your baby got track records. So you can do those things for one another. It's okay to ebb and flow and let that be a thing, to where both of y'all are now at the place where y'all want to be. So there is this commonality. I can truly be in my helpmate era, and you can truly be in your provider era. But you don't have, money does not dictate if you are a man or not. I hate that our men feel that way. Because we as women, and that's because we as women has made that be a thing. And I hate, like, sweets, like, let's be real. Your daddy was out here being a Rolling Stone, and your mama was the one who held it down. But you gonna sit here and tell another man that he can't do X, Y, and Z? Stop talking out of pain and talk out of what makes the most sense.
Y'all tag and share, please. Tag and share. But yes, I'm gonna read some of the comments so that we can have some. So this thing is serious for you. Zoe said, I don't care if you go out or do it from home. And that's real. That's why I say when we say go out and work. So the man got to leave home. So, because these days and times, there's so many stay-at-home jobs. Right, he can't work remote. I mean, because it just makes it seem like when we say that, we're discounting. It's like, if he don't go outside of the house and work, he's not a man. That's kind of what it makes it seem like.
Your mentality is what makes you a man, not with your wallet, bro.
Right. And so, let's see. And then what defines a man? So Professor Vanessa said, what defines a man is his character. 100. I'm a man. I know. 100. So thank you for that. And see, that's me. I'm just kind of, and I can only speak for me.
Right.
If your character, if you have no character, let me just say that. If all the things about you speaks negative, if everything about you is just strictly about you, about yourself, not about the relationship as a whole. If you don't have integrity, if you cutthroat, if you just do, I don't care if you work. For me, none of that matters. As far as your working and your money, none of that matters to me at all. I need for you to be able to be God fearing. I need for you to be emotional, like she said, emotionally intelligent. I need for you to be respectful. I need you to be a leader, a teacher, somebody that knows how to pour into us as far as your your business, your ideas, how to enhance us. Like she mentioned, level set, and level set is so much more than money. I don't want to just keep saying, but my man worked. But my man got he got the bag. But everything
where your man
about
at?
right, that's right.
Where is
but everything about you, everybody know he stay at the corner store getting drunk. Everybody know that he stays at the strip club. Everybody knows that
he
he's
got that
always
family
with
down.
the boys.
He got that family on the other side of town.
Don't nobody care. I don't care nothing about any of your finances if you do not know how to ensure that me as a woman, that I'm not looking bad in the streets. I don't care nothing about none of that. And that's
Sorry.
because, as she said in her video, the girl, if everybody is doing their part, you're not looking for anybody to pour into you in ways that you already know you've been able to do yourself, whatever that means, you know. And so y'all agree that y'all are talking about guys that aren't real men. And I don't want to say, because I don't, what defines a man for me is just not money. Let me just say that. Sean says this has happened to me right after Deja was born. I already had one job and got a second one until my husband was able, let's see, I'm sorry, was able to get him another job, and I still came home, cooked, clean. He was home looking for Deja, made sure Quan and Quay got school and made sure things and homework was done and showered and fed. Y'all do whatever it takes, even if that means working retail to provide for your family. Absolutely. I've been there. My ex was construction, and it was times when he did not work, and I mean like months. That's months, but he was, hold on. Sorry, Athena.
I think I
See.
can see, but I knew he was not a lazy man.
Okay. Thank you.
If he did nothing and had that nothing drive, it would have bothered me. But he was not that kind of man. It did not bother me to hold down what I had to. I love to hear it. Fred said that's where a woman must take the initiative to inform the man about the bills, mortgage, insurance. She can bring him up to date on that, so he will not be clueless if tragedy happens. I hate to say this, but I was about to say something else, but some men, he was about to come out. Some men don't be caring to hear that, because if you have this traditionalist type man, this unnecessary type man who doesn't care for what his partner does, and truly just thinks that his benefit and his proof to the house is monetary, he doesn't care about all that. He don't care how the inner workings
Because I'm
work. I hate to
gonna
say it.
tell you what they'll
That's real
say. What
narcissist like behavior, bro.
And
I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad that you said that, Fred, because most men, well, I'm gonna say a lot of men would say, "Man, that's your job, right? You right." And so they don't even take. And
I
you're
mean, you
right. The
do that,
woman
baby. And
can.
then they'll try to like smooth it. Be like, oh, baby, no, that's what
That's what I
you're
got
the
you
best
for.
at that. I
Right.
trust you to do that, baby.
Right.
I love how
Right.
you do that, but like, sir, get your YouTube ass off. Sorry. Professor Vanessa says money gives those type of dudes control of women who allow it. Who allow it is the main point in that for me. Sorry.
And I get and I agree. That's why we talked about women will stay because of the money, even when and it's a sad situation. Even when a man is putting his hands on a woman because they take care of them, they are still stay. We gotta get out of
Some
being
are afraid
so,
too on that.
yeah. We gotta, and that's another subject. But we
Right.
gotta get out of being driven by
What somebody does for us.
what somebody does for us.
Professor Vanessa then went on to say, wait, y'all can't be talking about men. Unfortunately, we are talking about men. Maybe not real men, but males for sure. Some males out here. Real men with character will not sit back and allow his woman to struggle in any way. 1000%.
Because
1000%.
he's gonna get out there. Let me tell you something about my neighbor. What what she told me.
There is also Tanisha's trying to get on the live as well. I don't know if you've noticed her
Okay.
invitation.
Hold tight.
I personally don't get the request, so
Do
just letting
you
her know
see
she
it?
may
Do
not
you
see it.
see?
I don't get them.
Okay.
You only
Hold
get
on.
them.
Let's see. Hold tight. Hold tight.
But I will say, like, because I believe in a biblical marriage. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't. I believe in a biblical marriage, but I also believe that society, we have morphed a biblical marriage into a do what I say and not as I do type of situation, where some people think that a woman is just supposed to blindly submit, and that is not the case. Like, that's not the case at all. For a woman to say, even the Bible says that a man is supposed to love his wife like Christ loved the church. you gotta earn that. Like, you have to earn my submission. And once that submission is earned, to talk about the third video you talked about, that video said a man, he learned his wife and saw his wife and met his wife when he put her in her soft girl era. When he took away some of her stresses and all of that, that's when he got to see the person for who the person was. Because a lot of times people forget that when people are tied down and stressed and doing all this, they're not all the way in their own bag.
Because she's frustrated every day that she comes home and got to do all of these things still.
You can't meet the woman that you fell in love with, because the woman that you fell in love with is bogged down under 10,000 weight of pressure, and you ain't picking up none of it.
And that's where you see the video where he's picking up the kids' things, and
that's a flex for a real
wiping
man.
out the kids.
For a real man to put a woman in her feminine energy and get her to a place of submission. I love that. That's a real flex.
I love that.
That's a real flex. When you got a woman that's really gonna be like, "Hey baby, move left," and she be like, "All right, cool." "Hey baby, move right." "All right, cool." Like, when you have that, that's a real flex.
And it ain't about money. You earned that by the way you
earned that by how you exactly. And you taking away some of that things. I posted a video not too long after getting out of my relationship and like starting my healing journey, and it was a video about some African-American, there as an African-American men's talking, and this dude was like, I had to learn that my wife don't give a fuck about my money. And the dude was like, "Ooh, that's one." And he was like, "No, but for real, she cares about if I can spiritually lead her. She cares about if I'm emotionally there. She cares about if the kids is going haywire, am I going to come in and step in the in-between and protect her mental and protect her sanity. She cares about it when we at home. I'm not trying to be in the bed rubbing up on her for sex. I'm trying to be in the bed talking to her and getting the weight off of her mind. She cares about if I'm taking care of her in a physical sense, but making sure she's safe in the physical sense. She cares about all that. The money will come. This is what she cares about the most. This will get that's the type of thing my wife wanted. And it took me the longest time to understand that." He's like, "But once I did, everything changed around." And it really is, a lot of the times, I feel like as women, we're afraid to express that, because society tells us so much. "Oh, we have to do this and we have to do that and we have to do this and we have to expect that we discredit the men who are trying to actually do that and trying to actually do this.
And they have so much to give. I remember my neighbor telling me how her husband is such a budgeter. He's such a he budgets really well their household finances. He strategically is able to ensure that household moves in the way that it should, because of the way that he budgets, by the way that he financially plans out the monies that comes into the house. But what he does, he depends on her to execute the things that he asks her to execute the plan. And see, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that's what makes a man. I know what's coming into the house financially. I can financially sit down, budget this, and say, "Babe, here's the things we need to do in order to be able to take vacations, to possibly buy a new car, if we needed to, if that's our stretch goal. Here's the things that I budgeted and planned out and have taken that off of your attic." Because as women, like I said, we have to pay. We pay all the bills. We make sure our bills get paid. We plan the vacation. We do all of this other stuff that no one is taking and lighting the load on our plate. So mentally, we're drained. We're drained mentally. And so with that stated, no matter what you're doing to bring the money in, when we're frustrated, we still gonna snap. We still gonna talk to you any kind of way. I don't care how much money you bring in this house, because we're frustrated by all the other things that we gotta do.
Because you do not take no pressure off.
Because you're not taking that off our plate. But he worked. But girl, he worked. I tried to bring her on, and it said she was joining, but I don't know what happened. I don't know, like it kind of must have kicked her out or something. You see some comments out there?
Yeah, I do. And I'm tag and share. There we go. I'm trying to see where we were. To try to get on facts, Rita. This is starting from Fred. The man takes care. Hold on. There we go. The man takes care of everything. He has to make sure the castle is protected at all costs. So he must tell the woman, "We need to know equally about these bills. Things happen." I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm not saying that's not the truth. I'm saying what I've seen and sometimes that don't be the case.
Right.
Sorry.
And so, Fred, you're right. I love a
That
man
should
of your
be like
thinking.
that.
Right,
It should
absolutely. You're
be, and I
right. It
applaud your
should
thinking,
be.
sir.
Right.
But not all the time, unfortunately, is it
Most
like
time
that.
it's not.
Professor Vanessa, so there are men, positive men, who are doing what needs
As a
what's
man.
needed. Sorry, as a man. Sorry, I couldn't
That's
see
okay.
this clear background is killing me. Needed as a man. So when do they get the attention or appreciation? And that's what I was saying. The
That's
flex
what we're
that
talking
comes
about.
with that, that's where that is. When you have a woman who's able to, when you put that woman in her feminine
Her
energy,
soft
in her
area.
submission by your action, that's a flex. And I would hope she's showing you. Exactly.
Most
She's gonna show you the
will.
appreciation
Most women
in general.
will.
Like she's gonna be like, oh, okay.
She's gonna
I want to
go
this.
over and beyond to make sure that
1000%
that man is
taken care of.
And we're not talking about sex.
And when I mean taken care of, I mean like you mentioned in passing, dang baby, I really love that restaurant that we went to a couple weeks ago. I guarantee you, if that woman appreciates you, give it a month. She gonna take you to that restaurant. Let you mention, oh, I need some lights. Dang, I really thought some mood lights would be dope for my home office. I guarantee you, in a couple weeks, she's gonna have the mood lights in your house for your front office, for your office. It's stuff like that. It's hearing that my man wants to be appreciated in this way and doing it because, oh, he do everything for me. Oh, he makes sure I'm good. I don't know what stressful kids is like. Why? Because as soon as I start to get stressed, my baby starts to notice, and he be like, "Hey, let's go watch a movie away from your mama. Get away from my wife. Get away from my wife because I gotta handle this."
That's right.
Like if you do what you're supposed to do, I promise you, a woman's gonna step in and do what she truly wants to do to show you what to do.
She's gonna say, "Baby, I appreciate you."
You have to be worth being submissive to.
That's right.
You
absolutely.
It all depends on depends on the growth in the relationship and where the two individuals are in their lives. That is very true as well.
I agree.
Those are things those are things that you can't put a value on. I assume you meant like how a man can come in and take care of things mentally, emotionally, physically, and all of that. Those are not things you can put a price on. No, they are not. A man has to put his woman in shit. Hold on.
Ooh, my goodness.
Hold on.
Let's look.
That statement.
Right.
You may want to read that one because I might get attitude on that one. You may want to read that one.
Man has to put his woman in check. If he doesn't, he's not a man of his house. He's not her father or dictator. He is the CEO of their lives. God places us there. Wow. What y'all think about that?
I'm telling you now, man. Ain't no man better put me. You better watch how you put me in check. You better watch yourself.
So let me tell you
real quick where she from. No, don't do that.
Right. So
watch yourself. You can put a check. You can put somebody in check. You can put somebody in check lovingly. Right. You can say what you want to say lovingly. Please put that as. I hope that's one of your caveats, sir. Right. You gotta know how to talk to your partner.
So the man said on the other video, remember the man said, Zarita and the man said on the other video, remember he said that about men believe being submissive. I think it's somewhere, he may have not said it in this manner, but he said you don't have to shout. You don't have to. He said that.
He did.
He don't have to shout.
He said you ain't gotta do all that extra. You can truly just talk to your partner.
In order for her, he said, I don't have them problems in my home. He said, because I know how to do things in my home where I am definitely still able to lead my home. My thing is, maybe word choice, Fred, when you say a man has to put his woman in check. I'm not sure.
Submission is not slavery. Submission is not slavery. You don't get to, because you have earned that place of being submitted to, start to be dictator-ish. Like that's how you then learn. That's how you then lose that, because you can't. And it may. And this is why a part of me wishes we could have this dialogue in person, and I hope we get to a place where we can have this dialogue in person,
right,
with people who like to speak up, because your tone, what you mean, this is all via message, so we don't know exactly how you meant what you said. So you could be saying, "Oh no, I'm gonna lovingly appreciate and talk to her, and put her to the side and make sure she understands," or you could mean, "I'm gonna be like, do this." I don't know.
And then based on the way I know Fred, I don't think he would call her out her name. So, but I do believe
the latter, I know for me and
Right.
mine,
Right.
I'm snapping. You know not to talk to me outside your neck. Check me on not a nothing. Hold me accountable. Yes.
Right.
Check
Yes.
me. No.
Right. Right.
My
Right. Right. I think a
mama don't check
man
me.
has to be able to have conversation with his wife or mate where she understands where he's going, his intentions, and if it's beneficial for the home. But he has to allow her to have a voice as well. And whatever conclusion that looks like, that's the betterment of the home, whether it's her viewpoint or his viewpoint, you guys got to be able to be okay with coming out of your ego and being able to decide what's best for the home, not because the man said it, so I'm the man and this is what we're going with. That's not how that works. Because then you take her out of having a voice where she feels like now I can't even be who I am and contribute to these discussions. And then may sometimes be afraid to even say it because I don't even want him to have to put me in check. A man Professor Vanessa says a man don't need to be told how to be a man. He just has to learn how to love his woman the way she. But I will throw this
Throw
phone
a shoe with you.
across.
Throw, don't put us back in church and the people be.
You
Come
gotta
on, preach,
preach
sir.
because that's all it is. If a man communicates,
He doing what he supposed to do anyway. I promise you.
and he allows her to share what I see a lot is men dismisses the woman's feelings, and you dismiss those feelings, and then she feels like you don't care. And so when that happens, maybe Fred, in that place of checking her, you've dismissed what she stated and the way she's feeling, and now she start to detach and disconnect from you.
And on top of that, sometimes we forget that that helpmate tag is there for a reason because there may be something that you don't see. There may be something that you aren't proficient in, but she is. So to sit there and just bark or order at her when you may have missed your blessing by listening to your woman.
Right.
And that's not the case. And I like to reference this picture all the time. There is this picture of this like grown, like full grown lion, right? A lion and a lioness. And the lion is up here and you can tell. Ain't nobody coming for them as a whole because they're afraid that that lion might snap. But then you have the lioness right in front of his throat, right in front of his jugular, protecting just in case somebody does. She's there to be like,
Right.
hey, not here, not him, not us, not a thing. So you have the two protecting one another. And I like to make the reference of yes, the man may be the head, but a woman is the neck. And you can't move nothing without your neck. Like you can't. You have to. There's an ebb and flow and a give and take that works between the two.
Right.
And one cannot disrespect or disregard the other because when you do that, you're off balance. And you shouldn't be living your life off kilter. That's not going to be a proficient home. And that's not going to make sure that y'all's kids or the kids that y'all have adopted or whatever, that y'all, it's not going to make sure that y'all's legacy is as strong as it should be because you're not paying attention to your partner. That's ridiculous.
Right. Absolutely. And that goes back to what
Side note, don't
Sarita
check me.
said. That's why it says we're drained, but then you want us to be all under you. Because again, we have to take care of our
No.
men and not just in sexual ways, but we also have to take care of our men in ways like Professor Vanessa was saying. We have to show our appreciation. We have to make sure we're taking care of their needs in order for them to continue to provide and do the things that they need to do for the woman in the household. So we have to do our part as women, and not just feel like, well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get out of the house and go work.
And on
Because it's
top of that,
bigger than that.
especially, and I don't hate to bring up, skin color because I mean, I was born like this. So, as a whole, Black people go through life in this extreme burden. Black women and Black men both carry a burden going through life that only we can understand from one another. a Black woman is going to be extremely keen on understanding the struggles that a Black man has to go through walking out in the day to day. It's already hard being Black out here. Like, it just is. Sorry. Like, that's why God only gave it to the chosen few, because only the chosen few can handle it. But it's hard being Black out here, and to come home to a household to where you are not
Lightening
appreciated
the
and
load,
loved and fulfilled and
and
cared
lighten the
about and
load for each
compassionate.
other.
Exactly. The world is hard enough. It's hard enough being a Black woman out here. I took the L on, well, not the L, I think it's a greatness, but I took the greatness on the skin color, and I took the greatness on being a woman. That's two negatives out there. Like, sorry, I need a little help. You took the L on being a Black man in a society where a basic ass white man makes more than you when you sitting out here the top of your class at Harvard and shit. Like, I get it. It's hard on both fronts. It being hard out there, we should not make it hard for each other inside. That's crazy. That's
Right.
wild.
Right. So that's why when we talk about these gender roles and who place it is, if you want, and that's why I love that video so much about the soft era,
Mm-hmm.
that he was able to get his woman in her soft era when he
I can't
started.
wait to my man, somebody to death. I can't wait. Let a man get me to submit and be in my feminine. I'm my man and y'all to death.
Right. So I like the way you put it, B. So speak to that video.
Which one?
The one where he's talked about the soft girl era.
So in the video, you can see he's walking around, picking up the kids' stuff, cleaning up the kitchen, starting dinner, tidying up the house, vacuuming. Honestly, the sexiest thing I saw that man do was load the dishwasher. I was like, ooh, man, you a man after my own heart. You got a wife, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But and pray that God put it in my husband. But he, in the caption, he says, I didn't meet my wife until I put her in her soft girl era. Because what a lot of times people will see as, especially us as women, being aggressive or being angry or being extra and all that, like extremely hard and all of that, we're stressed.
We're stressed.
Like, we're stressed.
We are
out.
stressed.
And again, back to that African American woman thing, we got to go out there and be a boss. I explained this to a couple of partners of mine. I have to go out here and run stuff. I have to be a boss wherever I go. 365. The moment my foot step outside that door, I got to be stronger than I want to be. When I come here, my home is a place where I should feel safe. I should feel soft. And when you put a woman in that place to where she is soft at home, she is able to be submissive at home, she is able to be as feminine as she want to be at home. She can sit and watch it. I personally wouldn't do this because I think this movie is fucking stupid, but she can sit here and watch The Notebook and cry and know that her husband just gonna be like, oh babe, you want some popcorn? Like that.
Instead of saying, but guess what?
It's
on the damn movie.
Why you
what you crying for? I mean, that's how our black men do it.
Granted, I personally think The Notebook is trash, so I wouldn't want to watch The Notebook. That's just me. I'm more of a love and basketball type of person, but that's just me. That movie's toxic as shit, though.
Even Love and Basketball,
but to
honey,
that point,
I've cried, you know, in some of the love scenes.
Basketball?
Yeah, because when you think about some of the love scenes and their connections and their growing up, and then how they unite, and I just think that their Love and Basketball love story is not all the mushy love story.
It's not. That's why I'm so confused at how you was crying.
Because it's so big. Because love is a bigger story than all the
baby.
mushy.
They got into a fight like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it's just so bigger than all of those things. It's just so bigger than that. It's a bigger love story behind.
And there was an actual friendship that happened in the midst of all of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I get it. Seeing a friendship grow into blossom to a romance. I get it. Okay, understood.
Because we got to be friends before anything else. But Professor Vanessa said, I think he could have said it differently, but I understand it. What he was saying to Fred when Fred said you have to put the woman in check. I think I understood it too. Right. I just think it was word choice. It was word choice. Right.
It's what you
never
say. Not right. It's how you say what you say.
Right. Because he's saying you never disrespect your wife. Period. You can put each other in check with love and mature conversation. And see what he's saying. Because it's coming from a respectable man. Y'all make sure y'all tag and share. That's why we're each other's better half. Professor Vanessa, better. Checking each other doesn't mean with disrespect we have to have passwords. I mean, check you bringing awareness to our situation. And right, that's why I think it was word choice. And so if
It
you
is.
bring
That's
awareness,
why I was like, if you say check it, because you can hold me accountable, but you ain't got to check
right.
it. And that
Me
for
too.
me is a thing for me. Don't tell me you better, and I got to put you in your place. Don't do that shit.
Athena says, me too, my man. Right. I think we all as women are looking for the opportunity to say, my
Baby,
man,
y'all gonna hate
to
me.
my man, and give
Y'all
you the
gonna
appreciation
hate me.
that Fred
B,
was.
what you doing? Me and my man going somewhere. B,
Right.
where y'all? What y'all plans is this weekend? I don't know, but I'm gonna be with my man. B, do you know where you going?
Yeah,
No, I got in my man's car and I'm sitting here. Like, y'all gonna hate me.
right. I think it goes back to what Professor Vanessa was stating, is that I think we're all are looking as women for the opportunity to be able to do and say just that, to show our appreciation for men that are able to lead and teach us, respect us, listen to us, hear us, lighting the load off of our plate, taking those things off of us that we need to be taken off us so we're not frustrated. And when we're not frustrated, we are able to give you the attention that you need as a man to take care of you. And we're not saying sexually, we're saying all the other things that encompass taking care of a man. And it's bigger than sex from a woman, and it's bigger than money from a man. And so we're going to get ready to definitely close out. Our relationship
We have,
is.
I'm gonna say one more comment.
Go ahead. You got it?
No, I'm gonna have to.
That's okay.
I can't see
Tanisha said a relationship is building up to what I would hope would be a marriage. And a marriage is a lot of elements, which it is, I agree, that go into it. Not just a man, home, wife, but a husband to help fill those elements with his wife. This video actually reminds me of a show, First Wives Club, where one of the wives worked and the husband did all the housework, but eventually the husband wanted to pursue his dreams. They had to compromise on her. And that's right, because compromising, he talked about that. And risk taking, compromising and risk taking is big in a relationship. If you're not willing to compromise and risk for compromise and sacrifice for your mate, and everything is about you, it'll never work.
Right.
It'll never work.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I didn't hear you.
So that compromising and sacrificing, if you aren't willing to compromise and sacrifice and respect and communicate effectively with your mate, it don't matter about no money.
I'm telling you, like, between society, like these Western thought processes of society and Disney, I swear, people of, I can say my age range for sure, people of my age range are looking at these things and thinking it's just like honky-dory and happy to have and easy to do. And it's just like, no, it's not. Relationships, marriages take work. And as a person who hasn't been married, I know, just looking from the outside in and having counseling, because I feel like you're supposed to have the people around you that either have what you have what you want, or are trying to attain something that you have, that you want yourself. So iron is always sharpening iron.
Right.
I have friends and mentors who are married, and when I was in my relationships, and I still have them now, but when I was in my relationships, those are the people I would go to with hypotheticals surrounding my situation. So I can understand, like, yo, I don't know what this is. I ain't been married. I don't know what this looks like. I don't know if I'm doing this right. What am I missing? Because I want to be the best partner I can be, regardless of the situation. But we have gotten to this thought process that, oh, if a man provides, financially, and then a woman takes care of everything else, then we're gonna have a happy. We get together and the sex is great, and we're gonna have a Disney Channel a Disney wedding, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be happily ever after, and no one talks about the work. Like I said this, I have started saying this so much. Nobody talks about the backside of the blessings. Nobody talks about how hard the work is to
And
keep
that's
this marriage. And
real.
people be
That's
like, "Your
real.
relationship goes. This is work."
It's work. It's
Like, I'm sure you
sacrifice.
go to
It's
bed
sacrifice and
sometimes
it's
and be like, "I
compromising.
don't like this.
Right.
I love them, but right now I
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
you." Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that's a thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like we got to stop discrediting the work that it takes to maintain healthy
And
relationships.
it's so much bigger than buddy work. So, guys, we're going to close out. This was great. I am so glad you guys were able to be engaging and involved in this space. So, we want to thank you.
Going up
Um,
on
out,
a Tuesday. Look at y'all. We so proud of
right,
y'all.
right, right. Going up on a Tuesday. So, one, wrapping this thing up, tag and share, guys, for the people that were not able to tune in so they can weigh in on their discussion if they missed it, so they can weigh in on it. One, we talked about the $600 food stamp contribution. Folks were saying, hell no, where he stayed, all of that. Then we came back and talked about role reversals because, like B said, it happens all the time. Women contribute most a lot of times nothing to the house as they are housewives, and that's all you do is take care of the kids and you cook and you clean, but that man come home so stressed with the weight of everything on his shoulder. Then with that being stated, what are you doing to ensure that he is comfortable when he comes home from a hard day's work, and vice versa? If he was the stay-home dad, as a woman, what are you doing to ensure, what is he doing to ensure that you're taken care of and all the things are taken off of your plate? um, we talked about and B, I'll let you talk about that last one because I love the way you put it. We talked about the man stating in the other video about a woman doesn't love, she respects. And I think when she respects a man, she loves him, but she respects him based on the way that he provides security, emotionally intelligence, the mental capacity to make her feel safe, the lighting the load off of her plate so that she can be in a submissive state to take care of him and he can lead and teach that home. And then that last video where the man was stating about his wife in the soft girl era, I pitched that to you as we close out.
And a lot of the times, being in that soft girl era is earned by what we talked about in the first video, in the video prior, like making sure that that woman is provided for, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, making sure she feels safe, heard, understood. Um, we it is the biggest flex I feel as a woman looking in on a man. It is a big flex. It's a big flex that I personally see respect and give respect towards a man for, when I can see a man has put his wife in her soft era and put her in her feminine energy to where she's easily able to move with him and doesn't really question his of course has conversation about his plan, but doesn't really question it and kind of like lets it be and is comfortable with him taking that lead and stuff, because he's put her in a position to where she knows that regardless, she's taken care of, she's fine in every facet. We say all that to say, please look back at our videos. Do not forget to tell a friend that we are here on Facebook on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock and on Instagram over on the little Instagrammer on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. You will always know about what we are talking about. We will try to keep you as updated as we possibly can. You know, sometimes we might just sprinkle a little change on y'all because, you know, we adapt.
Yes,
all
we
that
do.
to say,
Hold on.
please don't forget.
Hold on
Oh,
1 second.
do we have comments?
So, but we're gonna close out.
Oh, we do.
So Fred, a man. This is what Fred is saying, guys, and we're gonna close out, and then we'll do two. We'll do a part 2 next week, because this was such a dialoguable conversation. So, ladies, invite ladies, men. Definitely pass this on to other men, and we'll do part 2 next week, Tuesday, based on this exactly conversation. So it's a good way to close this conversation out. Fred, if you want to come on with us, that's fine. He says a man has to be visual in this conversation. I heard a lot of personal comments rather than objectives. But here's the thing, the personal comments is coming from what these people need in their life to be whole and fulfilled. And if your mate is not willing to come out of their comfort zone to help you be whole and fulfill those things for you, you'll be unhappy. So this is,
And
go ahead.
also, a relationship is personal. It's not objective.
Absolutely.
You're
And
not going to hear, and when it comes to relationship
it's a
conversations, you're not going to hear
personal
objectives
thing,
a lot.
right?
Especially, you're not. I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to hear a lot of objectives from
Me
me
neither.
unless I'm talking about statistics, because a relationship is just that. It's personal. And if you see a relationship as, and I'm not saying you do, but if you see a relationship as an objective,
That's why I said let's do part two of this. And Fred, I would love for you to come on with us next
please
Tuesday
do. I
because
love to hear
that's
your
right.
thoughts and your opinions and
Me
stuff. Please
too.
do.
Because I think that personal part comes into where Professor Vanessa says we have to learn to love people the way that they need to be loved. And the only way to do that is to know how they want to be loved. And then you being willing to do those things, whether that's by their love language, whether that's by whatever those things are. And
A
so,
small caveat to that also is, and here's an objective for you, statistically, men look at things objectively, and women, we look at things personally.
and so,
So maybe having you as a contributing partner to this conversation will
right.
help have both parts equally seen. So you should come and talk to us.
Yeah, so let's talk about that offline, Fred. I'll inbox you. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Um, as she mentioned, Tuesday
It wasn't
here on
missed, by the way.
Facebook. Right, love it. Tuesday here on Facebook at 7, IG at 7. Go back, listen to this. We'll do part two next week. Also, go out there to our YouTube page, listen to all the things that we have there from our past podcasts. Also, I always close out by saying there's a lot of amazing people out there. If you want to become one, and B, I am pitching it to you.
Please, please, please remember that life is not, it is not a dress rehearsal. It is your final performance. So please live each day like it is your last. We love you guys. We cannot wait to see you guys on Sunday and back here on Facebook next Tuesday at 7.
Thank
Love
you
you
guys. Have
guys.
an amazing day tomorrow. Make the rest of the week a great one. Tag
Hump
and share
day.
and tell everybody to meet us here Tuesday and Sunday on IG. Bye, guys.
Hi.